Well, hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning into News 9 Live at this point in time when the entire country is celebrating the auspicious occasion of Ram Navami. Some tragic accidents have also happened. Over 25 people are believed to be trapped. This after the floor of Beleshwar Mahadev Jhulelal Temple in Indore caved in on Thursday. Once the floor caved down, the devotees fell into a stepwell. The incident occurred during Ram Navami when a large crowd had assembled at the temple to offer their prayers.
हम सब पूरी ताकत से रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन में जुटे हुए हैं। मैं लगातार संपर्क में हूं। अब तक 10 लोग सुरक्षित बाहर निकाले जा चुके हैं। 9 और सुरक्षित जीवित अभी अंदर हैं जो सुरक्षित हैं और बाकी के लिए प्रयास लगातार जारी है। मुझे लगता है कि प्रभु राम की कृपा से, भगवान की कृपा से हम लोग जो बेहतर से बेहतर हो सकता है, सारे संसाधन वहां जुटाए हुए हैं और काम में लगे हैं और मुझे लगता है कि हम सुरक्षित बाहर निकाल पाने में सफल हो पाएंगे, क्योंकि 19 लोगों का तो मैंने बताया ही, अभी बाकी के लिए प्रयास जारी है।
राम नवमी के अवसर पर एक मंदिर में आई थिंक हवन वगैरह करने के लिए काफ़ी लोग एक कवर्ड कुआं के ऊपर एकत्रित हुए हैं। उसमें कुआं वजन के कारण दस गया था। उसमें मुझे लग रहा है अराउंड 25 लोग के आसपास मतलब एट अ टाइम कुआं में एक साथ गिर गए हैं। अभी 15 लोगों का हम लोग रेस्क्यू कर चुके हैं और 4-5 लोगों का और रेस्क्यू मतलब जारी है। जैसे कि कवर मिला है इमीडिएटली पुलिस, SDRF की टीम, रेवेन्यू एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, नगर निगम की टीम मतलब तत्काल पहुंच गए थे। SDRF की टीम अभी भी रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन जारी है।
Those were the district authorities with their particular reaction and the action that has been implemented on the ground as well. My colleague Pankaj Mishra joins us in the studio here. Pankaj, what are the latest updates that you're tracking at this point in time? What can be learned from what's happening on the ground? Certainly, it pinches you more when something like this happens at a place of worship, doesn't it?
Well, it does, absolutely, Kabir, and especially on a day when thousands and thousands of devotees are thronging as we speak to the temples on the occasion of Ram Navami. This unfortunate incident, obviously taking place in the city of Indore in Madhya Pradesh, is actually very unfortunate. Good part is so far that there are thankfully, no deaths reported, and both the state administration and the district administration is taking cognizance and is working for the rescue and relief of the affected people. Now, what happened, Kabir, was obviously this: since morning, the devotees made a beeline at this temple, and there is a circular pathway that goes around this temple, and beneath which there is a well, a step well. The floor cracked and people fell down into that step well, and this is how nearly 25 people are still trapped. 4 to 5 have been rescued so far, and they are hoping that no further casualty can be reported. But Kabir, I would add here that irrespective of the temple, the city or the administration, one thing that is very crucial as far as handling the devotees is concerned, for that matter, huge cricket matches that happen at cricket stadium, those crowd control measures must be put in place right from the word go, because if you are anticipating that X number of people would come and then double number of people arrive there, then also there should be a contingency plan in order how to go for that crowd control.
Well, the Char Dham Yatra, that's already, we're looking up to it, as well as the Tirupati, Tirumala Devasthanam, that particular temple. The amount of people who throng these kinds of temples, there is proper crowd control measures that are put. What are some of the things that we can pick up from these temples and can implement on, occasions like Ram Navami or Holi festival that is celebrated in Mathura? What can be learned from these, huge temples and organizations and can be implemented across the country?
It's a very valid question, Kabir. Well, there are not far away from Indore, there's a place called Ujjain, and there is a temple which is obviously once again frequented by thousands and thousands of devotees. Now, how do they do the crowd control there at the Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain? Is by issuing token system. Similar things applies with the Sabrimala temple, which again witnesses a huge footfall of the devotees. Talking about obviously TTD, the Tirupati Devasthanam board also exercises a lot of precaution. And Kabir, also it holds significance that after that tragic January 1st, 2022 catastrophe that happened just on the intervening night of 31st of December and 1st of January of 2022 at Vaishno Devi in Jammu and Kashmir. That is also a reminder. And now we have seen that token system for the darshan has been implemented more strictly there, because there were token systems earlier as well, but certain over a period of time the temples tend to lose out on that trend, but it has to be adhered to day with each passing day, and we should not be dropping the ball as far as that is concerned. So crowd control, token system, then limiting the presence of people in the temple premises is also something which many temples are considering to implement.
There's the dress code factor as well, you know, for male and female respective dress uniform and to attend these places of worship as well. And now digitization is such a huge thing. You can register for these, you know, for your worship online as well. But meanwhile, I'm being told that there's a reaction coming from the Commissioner of Police. Let's quickly listen into what he has to say as well.
यह आज लगभग 11:30 पौने 12 बजे की यह घटना होगी। इसमें एक मंदिर में एक चबूतरे जो कुएं के ऊपर बने चबूतरे पर हवन चल रहा था, जो अचानक धसक गया है और इससे कुछ लोग उस कुएं में गिर गए थे। अभी तक हम लोग 15 लोगों को रेस्क्यू कर चुके हैं। 2 या 3 लोगों का भी रेस्क्यू बाकी है और उसके बाद हम आगे की सर्चिंग करेंगे।
Well, now, even as we talk about what's happened in Indore on the occasion of Ram Navami, let's shift our focus to Andhra Pradesh as well, where a massive fire broke out during Ram Navami celebrations. This at a temple in Andhra Pradesh's West Godavari district. The Venugopala Swamy temple is situated in the Duva village, and no casualties have been reported so far, fortunately. What we're learning at this point in time is also that a short circuit is being ascertained as the reason behind this particular fire. But Pankaj, when we look at you know, what happened in Indore and now what has happened again in West Godavari as well, a massive fire, those canopies catching fire, you know, falling down like matchsticks. Again, the issue of the crowd control. Fortunately, no casualties reported from this particular Venugopala Swamy temple. But again, you know, pointers on how can crowd management be bettered?
Right, Kabir, obviously now this tragedy again, unfortunate as it is, just as the previous one in Indore, here obviously the fire part is something that needs to be taken under control, under consideration also. And given the fact that again Ram Navami and these 10 days of Navratra celebrations or 9 days are celebrated across the country in different forms and manners. So again, this particular temple in Andhra Pradesh obviously had the visitors coming there in large numbers, and it is primary reports say that it was a short circuit. Now in this temple complex, obviously, Kabir, you know, one would expect that you will have dried coconuts, you will have palm leaves and rest of the things which are highly inflammable. So in that context also, the firefighting measures here. In the previous incident, we saw the crowd control. Here, the fire is doing the devastation most. So, fire control measures, once again, Kabir, is highlighted. Remember, I distinctly remember the time when one of the office complex in New Delhi had caught fire, and the way people were jumping out of the windows and the way the building was gutted, again, it was the result of the very fact that the fire safety norms were not paid heed to. And this time again also, for a temple complex as big as this, in a temple city, in we have seen down south also, there are huge temples also. The fire control measures too should be in place, and obviously this kind of situation.
But Pankaj, I mean, take a look at these visuals as well. The inflammable, you know, material that has been used for these canopies as well. When we're talking about tokenized system, when we're talking about, you know, proper dress codes and people being limited to a certain amount of people who can enter for a particular, you know, time of worship, what the authorities, the organizing members, the team behind this particular, you know, temple, they should be taking into account that inflammable material is not used for canopies as well. Yes. The speed in which the fire has engulfed the entire complex. Fortunately, no casualties reported, and the extent of damage is yet to be ascertained. But one must take care of this as well. What do you think this will, how does this bear down on the authorities that are behind the organizing team of this particular temple as well?
Right, Kabir, see, this goes without any saying that the authorities, those who organized this gathering, or those who are expecting, the temple authorities should have taken these things into consideration. Using an inflammable canopy is one first mistake that you would do. And secondly, once again, not having enough firefighting measures too allows these small fires also, which might start in the form of a short circuit, or maybe diya, an earthen lamp touching any other inflammable object, and then the fire getting bigger. So all those aspects should be taken into consideration, that what immediate fighting measures were available. Now it's a matter of probe, obviously, and the temple authorities would definitely conduct the probe with the police authorities, but this thing could be avoided, and especially at those places where mass gatherings are done.
Well, absolutely. Pankaj Mishra, many thanks for joining with us and helping us out with your inputs on these stories. Of course, like I mentioned before, it is quite, it pinches one a lot when these kind of accidents take place on as auspicious a day as the Ram Navami and at places of worship. We hope that there are no casualties, and as soon as possible, the firefighting teams can douse the flames. We're going to slip into a quick break here. Content continues on the other side. Don't go anywhere.